Jim, let me get you with one more before we get out of here, because this is actually something a lot of listeners have sent in. Various things here, following up on our Alexander Hammerstone MLW segment, I guess last week. First of all, the video we referenced on the Drive-Thru has been taken down. The rumor is that MLW threatened to sue Hammerstone when the video came down. But in it, he was explaining his situation. He's asked to be released. He's not being booked. He's not making money. I mean, this is a guy trying to, have a life. I don't know if he has a family or not, but he's not making money, and he's also prevented from making money anywhere else. So we talked about that, and if anyone has that video, please get it to us, because we'd like to play it on the air. I have an article here from Cage Side Seats by Sean Reuter. The Samoan SWAT team of Lance Anoa'i and Juicy Finau, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, were granted their release from MLW recently. And Lance Anoa'i is Samu's son, for the record.
Yes.
Anoa'i did an interview, and here are some quotes. I just wanted that freedom mainly for right now, especially with my family being at the top of the best company there is. I've missed a few opportunities being with MLW. That one on A&E, which was the Samoan Dynasty episode of WWE's Most Wanted Treasures. I missed the possibility of being on the tribal court that they were doing on the July 7th SmackDown, bringing in the whole family. I missed that opportunity. Now I can do it all. Now I could be at extra work. Now I could be at tryouts. Like, nothing is stopping me now, so I'm just ready to go. So the tribal court, they wanted a lot of us. They asked my grandfather, my dad, my uncles, me, Jacob. They wanted us all. And unfortunately, due to our contracts and everything, we weren't able to. But that's okay, We weren't able to. And we just carried on. And now we just don't know, man. Time will tell. And then let me just, there's a little bit more here.
In this case, I wish he might have read a prepared statement that may have been a little easier to follow.
Anoa'i suggested to MLW, or he was asked if he suggested to MLW that the exposure on WWE TV would be good for them. Here's a quote. We pitched that point and we got shut down. We don't know why. It is what it is. We just ran with it. They even did the A&E special, filming my whole family and our family reunion, and we weren't allowed to be in any of it.
Okay.
So, there's just a few missed opportunities, and hopefully it just comes right back around, and we'll be able to. Everybody will be able to see how big our family is, still growing. How big our family... Yeah, that is what it says here.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one left. There's a lot of guys. Jacob Fatu is my cousin. His brother Journey. Solo is already in there.
Wait a minute, his brother Journey?
He has a brother named Journey, apparently. I don't know.
Does he have another brother named Rush and another brother named...
Solo is already in there. Zila Fatu, who's Umaga's son. We just all just
What about Boston? Boston Fatu.
We just all just going, and we all young and hungry and ready to achieve and follow our footsteps, our family footsteps, and just keep the bloodline going. So again, there's another person, and it brings up Jacob Fatu, which makes it interesting. The idea that Jacob Fatu was invited to that tribal court. Go ahead.
I mean, that, if we do indeed take Lance's word, we have no reason to doubt it, but I don't honestly know whether they would have invited them to that point, because MLW is suing the WWE and has been suing them and has been very persistent with it. And every time something gets thrown out, it gets filed back or whatever the case. We're not going to sub-reference into that whole goddamn story. But I have a hard time believing that they would even have made the invitation. I do believe that somebody would have said, well, hey, can Lance be in it or can Jacob? And they would have said, oh, goddamn no. I believe that because they're fucking being sued. And either that, or if it came to MLW being asked if they can be in it, if they could be in it, it harms their case from MLW's side because they're trying to sue for these people being a monopoly and restraint of trade and whatever else is going on. And if one of the MLW contracted talents was seen probably making a bigger payoff to stand in the background of a company barbecue than what he makes to wrestle over in the other place, that's kind of hard to argue that anybody's restraining anybody except MLW.
I have another statement here. I don't know who this wrestler is. Arez, Arez.
Oh, are these the ones that they wanted their release and they were told no, but they actually then were told, no, we released you 6 months ago, but nobody told them?
Let me see. To the general public, people of Earth. No, I find myself forced to address...
It didn't say that.
No, it does not say that. It just does not say that. I find myself forced to address the following situation publicly with the hopes that a resolution can finally be found. I join the recent wave of fellow professional wrestlers that, just like me, have requested their release from MLW and its president and owner, Court Bauer. Firstly, I would like to very sincerely thank Mr. Bauer for his interest in my career more than 2 years ago when he invited me to join MLW. In spring of 2021, AAA presented me an offer on behalf of MLW to join their roster for 3 years. Although I did not understand the contract, as it was never presented to me in Spanish, and I am not an English speaker, and even though I did not have a work visa at the time of signing that would even allow me to accept a job offer in the USA, I told AAA that I was very interested and signed said contract.
And by the way, and that's what they used to do. Ring of Honor in the old days did that. All the indie promotions, they'll tell a guy, especially the luchadors, they wear masks. The airport people don't instantly recognize them. Tell them you're coming in to fucking visit your fucking cousin or take a tour of the Bowery or whatever.
The salary I was offered contractually was considerably below my indie rate, but I accepted it as I hoped to see my career grow by being a part of MLW.
And that's another thing is, just to be honest, BN Sports is a network that their program was on when I did the commentary. I don't even know if they're still on, but BEIN Sports. They were fans of the MLW program, but they were based in South Florida, and they have a heavily Hispanic audience. Aired a lot of soccer, football, whatever. And that's why they were trying to have more Hispanic representation on television programs.
The reality is that MLW has not offered me any matches in over 18 months.
Jesus Christ.
And I see no interest whatsoever in offering me any work. With this situation, and knowing how much work it has cost me to survive based on my income as an independent wrestler, I respectfully requested my release to Mr. Bauer more than 6 months ago, which he refused. MLW has refused to cancel my contract in writing, even though I don't even believe it has any legal weight, as I was ineligible for work in the US at the time of signing, and a Spanish translation was never presented to me.
Again, obviously, this is a translation. Since he can't read or write English, apparently is what he's saying. This is his statement that's been translated from somewhere, because he talks better than you and me.
If I had the resources and team to challenge this in court, I'm sure the outcome would be favorable, but since I do not have these resources, I'm forced to air this problem publicly since my family's well-being is what is at stake. Let me stop it there, because that's a real thing. You can sign people to contracts where they can't work for competitors, or there are various different things that you can get around because you're not allowing someone to actually work and make a living. If MLW is holding people to contracts to prevent them from working for other companies in wrestling, but are also not giving them bookings, and also not supplying anything close to a fair income to live on, how can they prevent other people from having these opportunities? Quite frankly, if they ever got to court, like you said here, MLW would lose. The problem is, it costs a lot of money. Court Bauer's married to a lawyer, so we know who he's going to be using.
Well, yeah, and the contracts are written basically it would be adjudicated in New York, or is he in Scottsdale now, or whatever ritzy suburb? But it would be the equivalent of me here in Louisville saying, "Oh shit, this guy in fucking Mexico City, boy, I gotta sue him. Well, I can't just even have Stephen P. New go to Mexico City, right?" And this guy, obviously, he's been starved so bad, he's so broke he can't pay attention. He can't hire a lawyer out of the blue and retain him to go through this laborious and lengthy process to get out of. And we talked about this on a recent show in other terms. I can see a company with talent under contract not wanting to set a precedent, because if you let one guy that you don't really care whether he's there or not, if you let him go, then the guy that you really want to keep has a case. Well, what about me? You left me out. What's the difference here? And you've opened a can of fucking worms, peas, rutabagas, whatever you want to talk about. But if they haven't even entertained the idea of using this guy in a year and a half, for fuck's sake, at the very least, just okay, fine. And you live in another country, so fine. You're done here. Thank you. That's kind of ridiculous. I don't know if I can see a good reason for something like that when he's not only not an integral part of the company, but he hadn't even been around in a year and a half. And, well, one more thing, these contracts, he said it was for less than his rate, his indie rate, or how did he phrase it? Less than the rate that he signed to MLW for, because they all want to be on television, and they want to be on television in the United States.
Because it'll increase your rate. Hopefully.
Right, but does that mean it was guaranteed money? He was getting a check for $200 a week or a month or whatever anyway, or did he just get paid if he worked, and he just never worked?
And even if you did work, that's part of the problem. Again, looking at it from the point of view of having a small company, trying to build it, having whatever aspirations Court Bauer and what's the other, MFN or whatever his name is, whatever they want to do.
MSNBC.
Whatever they're trying to do, they want to do something. It's been years now. You can't just hold guys to a contract because you're trying to win a lawsuit. You have to actually run shows where they can make money. In a world where an MJF never went to AEW and he was still working there, what would he be making? $30,000 a year at most? I mean, there's no path to making a lot of money with MLW. And a lot of these guys have limited windows where they can sign with a WWE or an AEW, maybe no window. The window's wide open, ladies and gentlemen. Jump right in. But there's limited windows to get things done. You can sympathize with a small company trying to grow, but there's nothing happening. And I think the reality is it's never going to happen for MLW. And the lawsuit with WWE, that's really the end game, because it's never going to happen for MLW. So they got all these wrestlers under contract, they're holding them. Nothing's happening. And even if anything happened, nothing's generating money. Where are they drawing a house? Where do they have a respectable gate? Where are they making pay-per-view revenue? Merch money? They have an action figure line no one's bought. So they've tried things.
As a matter of fact, I understand that the people brought the tickets that they bought for last month's show back this month for a refund.
So you have to reckon it's not going to happen. So if it's not going to happen and you're also not creating any opportunities at all for these guys, what are you holding them to contracts for? It's not going to happen. But let's go back and finish this comment here, this statement. Regarding the multiple reports about the recent wave of MLW talent similarly requesting their releases, I find myself obligated to join these voices and find a resolution to what I believe is an unfortunate situation for all parties. I hope my fans and fans of Lucha Libre in general understand and can support me and any other wrestlers caught in a similar situation of being tied to a company that has no interest in giving them work. I hereby request once more that Mr. Court Bauer, I hereby request once more to Mr. Court Bauer my full release in writing from MLW. Sincerely, Arez, A-R-E-Z, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Again, it's not just one person.
Well, no, that's what I was saying because, we might bring the details of this on the next program, but real briefly, I saw something on Twitter where this guy, and apparently I think his tag team partner, they had also been offered an MLW contract through AAA, and they signed it. And sometime way back, like early this year, they had asked for a release because they weren't being used or whatever the case. And it was turned down. And so they've been thinking they were under contract, but now they went back and tried again. And MLW told them, oh, we released you guys 6 months ago. Didn't AAA tell you? And that's the story they got. And I don't even know if that's been resolved yet, whether they are released or aren't released, or who released them, or who didn't tell who what, or who chased the cat that ate the rat that lived in the house that Court built. But that's an interesting story also, with a little twist at the end, like an O. Henry kind of tale.
Well, like you said, we'll follow up on this and see what else comes out, but it's an interesting time with the problems in the NWA and questions about their future, or whether even if they had a future, you'd want to work there. You could say the same thing about MLW. With all these stories, who would want to sign a contract there going forward other than a desperate wrestler, hoping that there'll be some kind of opportunity? Impact, reverting back to TNA. You know, with all the problems AEW has, one of the scariest things is the drop-off after that. And that there aren't that many places serious that are left out there.
It's sort of like all of the demons and the flames in the pit licking at your feet as you hang by your fingernails from the ledge. And the last drop is, oh my God, he's going to end up in garbage championship wrestling. Yes, there he's burst into flames. He's completely, totally gone. You know, the problem is a lot of these people, they're just not getting enough rest, Brian. A good night's sleep can help you out, and a lot of these people are not getting a good night's rest. They could think about things, roll over and take another 10 minutes to think about their lot in life and the choices that they're making. I think that would be healthier for everybody. You know who can help with something like that? Our friends over at Helix, at helixsleep.com.
That's right.
They can help you with these. And did you know, and Brian, again, they've been sponsoring us and our fine programming with their fine mattresses and merchandise for so long now that we've just ranted and raved about the greatness of their various makes and models and the warranties and the fact that they support the military and the first responders and the teachers and the students. And if you support all those people, well, there's hardly anybody left. We don't do anything for the goddamn CPAs. They're on their own. They make enough money. But
okay, I didn't know you had a problem with the accountants like this.
Well, it comes a couple times a year when I get news. But anyway, we talked about the mattresses that have the cooling technology. As a matter of fact, we just got one of those in our own home. We decided to try that out, and it's freaky. It's like the mattress is air conditioned. The surface of the mattress is colder than the room, than anything around it. It's like a fresh, nice, cool dip in a garden spring. It's refreshing.
It's a fine mattress. You'll get a good night's sleep in. I've never heard these comparisons for it
well,
before.
Watch out. You don't unique. Stick your head under the water or you'll drown.
Have you been drinking your mushroom elixir before bed?
Well, yes, and boy, those mushrooms, they grow under those cow patties. But I'll tell you the thing about the Helix I haven't mentioned. I just found this out. I'm talking about what we've raved about helixsleep.com. And their fine mattresses that they make for everybody, no matter what your body type or no matter what your sleep preferences, no matter what kind of intimate relations you like to have. They've got specialty things with slings and pulleys and ropes, a series of trusses. But nevertheless, did you know, Brian, that Helix mattresses do not contain fiberglass?
I mean, I'm happy to hear that. I presumed it. I'm glad to know that it's now been confirmed.
No. Do not assume. When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, and you presumed, and that means that you make a pre out of you and
what does that even mean?
And me. A press out of you and me. But Other brands of mattresses contain fiberglass. Other mattress companies use fiberglass as a flame retardant, but in their various products. But Helix mattresses are free of the harmful fiberglass materials because they own their own manufacturing facility, and they got no fiberglass. They don't allow peanuts in there. If you got a peanut allergy, they say, fuck you, get out. You're not allowed to bring those peanuts in here. It's a very clean place. And they've got that crew, their own manufacturing facility and team of skilled manufacturers. There's George, there's Larry, there's Jeffrey, and there's little Pismo, the whole team, and they sit there all day like little tinkerers, like at the elf's workshop when they're fixing the shoes for the cobbler there. You remember the cobbler? He was good with raspberries. And they make these mattresses with no fiberglass in them. So you don't have to worry about, well, obviously, if you're sleeping on a mattress containing fiberglass, because a flame retardant, you don't have to worry about burning to death. It won't catch on fire. It'll just give you 18 different types of cancer from your lungs to your brain to your asshole. And it's also, and boy, I'll tell you what, also, it's very rough to sleep on that fiberglass.
Again, let's talk about the comfortable,
that's what
nice mattresses
wrestlers
with none of this, no fiberglass, none of this in the wonderful sleep.
You've heard of wrestlers having itches. Bad, that's because they sleep on mattresses with fiberglass. Oh. You're not going to get that with Helix. It says it right here. Fiberglass free, folks, for your comfort. Because there have been a number of health issues and lawsuits related to fiberglass in mattresses. Wait till Stephen P. New hears about this. So that's why we all sleep easy, knowing that Helix, there's no fiberglass.
That's right.
There's no broken glass. There's no stained glass, no bottle caps, no barbed wire, and no used hypodermic needle.
Well, again, I think people would expect these things, but let's talk about how nice these mattresses are.
Everything I just said is factual and true. It's a guarantee.
For once, you're telling the truth, and I believe you. But let's talk about these wonderful, fine, comfortable, sleepable, wonderful, terrific mattresses that we love here in this house.
What else do you want to know about something you sleep on that don't have broken glass or fiberglass or barbed wire or hypodermic needles or bottle caps in it? Past that, what else do you need to know? They're fine mattresses.
Well, how can I get one?
Well, you go to helixsleep.com, HELIX, and you take the quiz. What kind of mattress do you want? What do you like to sleep? How do you like on your side, on your back, your butt up in the air, with your nose in the mattress, whatever the case. And then they will send you to your door, or as we've discussed in the past, if you want to accept delivery through the window, if you can open the window wide enough to get the box in, and you will bring it into your home and unbox it, and it comes to life. And it's the finest and most comfortable and most coziest and most grammatically incorrect mattress that you'll ever have, and that contains no sharp or metallic or radioactive materials in the manufacture of same, because they handle all this shit themselves. They don't farm it out to the local fiberglass farm to stick stuffing in the thing. They use all unborn virgin goat's hair, and they even milk the little things ahead of time.
What? No.
Just so that you don't get any excess moisture inside the mattress.
Again, none of this, ladies and gentlemen, is in the official copy, and none of this is on the website, and none of this is what you have to think about or worry about with Helix Sleep. Fine, wonderful mattresses. Well, we have several here in the house, and we endorse them. We
let me tell you the best part.
The best part.
Because normally I say, well, you can get 20% off, right? That's normally the best part. How you can save money. I say you get 20% off.
That's
well, no, I'm not going to say that today. Nobody's saying it. Because now Black Friday is coming up. Black Friday, the day that electricity ceases to exist all over the continental United States.
No, that's not
plunged into darkness.
No, that's not what Black Friday is. Black Friday has nothing to do with the electrical grid. It has to do with sales after Thanksgiving.
I'm sorry. That was that unsold pallet that I wrote one time. But right now, in honor of Black Friday, the sales that you're talking about, Helix is offering 25% off. 25% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows. And we just got the free pillows, and I'm sleeping on one of them. Because it's just as soft as a box of fluffy ducks.
They send you the free pillows?
Because we got a mattress.
We have mattress. I got to call someone.
Well, yay. Maybe they just figure with a head that size, you can't really fucking stick anything under it.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say you got a big head. But anyway, Helix is offering 25% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners in honor of Black Friday. If you go to helixsleep.com/JCE and use the code, now listen to this very carefully, Helix Partner 25. Helix Partner 25. Helix Partner 25. I'm waiting for you to reiterate it for me so
Helix
I can take a break.
Partner 25, celebrating 25 years since Jim said, I'm leaving Connecticut.
Actually, no, you're wrong. You're off a year.
Am I off
just
1 year?
because it's 25% off and we're a Helix partner. But since that's a different code than we have given before, I wanted to reiterate it. helixsleep.com/JCE. Use the code HelixPartner25, 25% off the mattress and 2 free pillows. It's like a sore Peter and a busted drum. You can't beat it.
That's right. Send us the pictures of the mattresses when they arrive or videos of them opening up. It's quite the thing to see.
Well, it depends on everybody. If everybody's decent and clothed and been bathed.
That's right. Be decent and clothed. Bathing
clean
is up to you.
Yeah, well, we want clean people.
Well, we can't tell if we're watching a video or seeing a picture how clean they are.
Have you seen some people?
Well, once again, promo code PIGPEN. Wait, what's the promo code?
The promo code is HelixPartner25.
For Helix Sleep, a fine mattress.